All right, all right, all right. Okay. Hi, Scorpio. This is Terra Lumination with a mini report about the Jupiter in Scorpio transit that's happening now, going through to 2018. It's a year-long transit, more or less. And of course, it's all about Jupiter. And it's about you, Scorpio. Ha ha ha. Da da da. So for now, I'm trying to condense an awful lot into very little here. And if you need to, obviously watch for your sun, moon, and rising. But also, if you need to pause and rewind this little video to get the most out of it. Because we're just going to buzz through to the tarot reading. So, what's it all about? Jupiter, the great benefic, the big planet, is all about the energy that it radiates is growth, opportunity, optimism, good fortune and truth, healing, and good fortune in general, the search for higher consciousness, greater awareness, onward and upward type energy, wisdom, connection with the great beyond, intangible ways that are understandable to the master, the ascended master, who can then bring that down to the rest of us. Okay, so there's Jupiter. Now imagine that as fuel or rocket fuel that is being pumped through the sign of Scorpio, where these are the filters, these are the lenses. Okay, so if you want to read through any of these, help yourself, you will recognize them immediately as classic scorpionic themes. Simple examples: power, intensity, the emotion, the focus, the energy of joint resources, deep mergers, soul merger, birth and passing on, destruction and procreation, and from Terra Lumination perspective, ultimate transformational healing, the death of the old, the growth of the new. Okay? So what's this all about? Where is it happening for you? Well, of course, you've probably figured it out. It's happening for you, Scorpio, in your first house of self. The first house energy would be the self that you radiate to the world in terms of who you appear to be and how others perceive you. Of course, there's a whole lot else going on, but it's the house of your first awareness. Like if somebody looked at you, they would categorize you as this or that or whatever that might be, and that would be imprinted whatever the rest of the chart says. So it's very much to do with who am I when I look in the mirror? Who are you when you integrate with others? And it's very simple and straightforward, and it's all about being true to yourself, being your true you. So with all this wonderful benefic energy entering your first house, it's like you're going to have a real chance, let's say, of good fortune, opportunity, expansion, higher consciousness as yourself. Then, a whole brand new you is starting on a new 12-year journey till we come back again to this cycle again 12 years from now. Thank you very much. So it's a great start for you. And of course, like everyone else, we have to deal with the challenges and the opportunity. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little tarot reading like this, okay? Kind of like what we do on the Sunday Night Live, but just one card more. And we're going to break it down. Your situation, your opportunity, which is so much about this, and the challenge that come with this, and of course, how are you going to handle it and make the best of it, all right? So the whole idea is that this reading might be useful to you. I'm not trying to tell your fortune or anything like that. It's much more about practical application of energy. What are we going to do with all this energy, okay? So, if you have to, again, stop and rewind and pause and all that to try and figure it out. And if you have to, watch an astrology channel all about the first house, okay? Or all about Scorpio, and then mush it all together. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising too, of course. Now, cards were already pre-shuffled, but we're doing it to the last second so that you're a witness. Okay? It's only fair, It's not like Las Vegas here where you have automatic card shufflers. these cards wouldn't even fit into an automatic card shuffler anyway. So we have to do it the old-fashioned way. There you go. No reversals, okay? We're just going to let the cards tell a little story and do our best to interpret that for you. All right, Scorpio, no jumpers, no flyers. Don't look at that. I don't want you to see that. I didn't see it myself. I just shoved it right back in the deck. It might have wanted to say something, but I don't read the cards that way. Thank you very much. Here we go. Cards are now shuffled. Now we're going to cut for you specifically. All right, Scorpio. So hang in. We'll make the best of this for you. All right. So here's your situation. Here's your opportunity. Here's your challenge. And here's how you can make the best of it. Okay. The best of all of this. Best of Jupiter in Scorpio energy for you. And we're going to look at this in a moment, like surrounding circumstances or the weather that's there available to you, talking to you, surrounding you, inspiring you, and you have the King of Wands. So Jupiter in Scorpio, for you, Scorpio, you could be feeling like, wow, my gosh, I'm really starting to come into your own kind of thing, where it's about majesty, dignity, sovereignty of self, honor, self-love in a very, very pure manner that's evident without having to be overt, okay? This is the King of Wands energy, which really doesn't have to explain to anybody how awesome they are. They just radiate that by nature, because it's a very long journey to rise up to the sovereignty of the king, okay? Forget the gender, whether you're male or female watching. Don't worry about it. This is about total sovereignty of self. And in the context of Jupiter moving through Scorpio into your own sign, into the first house, this is extremely supportive. In other words, it's like you're being urged to operate at this level. Like the heavens are telling you, your dear angels are saying, dear Scorpio, this is your time. This is your moment. It is your job, duty, responsibility, obligation to go for it to the highest levels, with the highest levels of integrity and standards, so that you can not only just enjoy this new version of yourself, but you can be like a leader and an inspiration to others by living by example, okay? With your passion, your expression, your creativity, your vision, your gifts that you happily, let's say, bring to the rest of the world through you, your physical body, yourself, that others see. So what is your situation? The Magician. Whoa, okay. Serious power here. Okay, with this much power, Scorpio, it's like we have to be very careful, because it's about coming into your power like to the maximum, where the ability to manifest, which is kind of what the Magician is all about, becomes very significant. And so all these classic Scorpionic energies, power, intention, focus, intensity, and the joint resources with others, become amplified to a much higher degree than you've enjoyed for the last 12 years. It's happening, it's starting all over again, a brand new cycle to the next level. And because you are the sign of transformation, and it is in your first house, and it is going through your own energy, it could be almost off the charts, the amount of power that is available to you at your disposal for your, let's say, discretionary use. So it's very important with the Magician energy to be extremely aware about how you are exercising your power, manifesting your power, and expressing your power, so that it is not abusive power, because Scorpio sometimes can be very ruthless and very determined to get where they have to go and do what they have to do. And that's obviously not very cool in the long run for everybody else. It's very, very important with this power to be very magnanimous and generous and open with that, because it's very, very public. In other words, it's almost like you're on a stage, Scorpio, where you might not be comfortable on a stage, because typically Scorpios, you can be very secretive and you're very, very effective and very happy well behind the scenes in places of deep control, deep power, deep influence, without having to be out there on the stage living it. Whereas now, Scorpio, you're going to actually be having to be living it kind of in the spotlight. So anytime you are like out of alignment with your power, or you are manifesting and expressing your power for self-aggrandizement, it will be very apparent to others. So you have to, be very careful here. So what's the opportunity with all of this? Okay. Some people say this is your card. So the opportunity is transformation. And let's just take it right to the limit. Transformational healing. Some people feel that Scorpio is the ultimate sign of the ultimate healer, because they have the power and the ability to go deep, deep, deep where no one else wants to go, and do the dirtiest, deepest, darkest work that nobody else wants to handle, because it's too gruesome, it's too frightening, it's too painful, it's too riddled with potential backlash and trauma, but someone's got to do it. So Scorpio does it, and they are experts. And with the energy of the death card here, in terms of opportunity, it's almost like being supercharged here. Like you, Scorpio, are now being bestowed with the opportunity to be the ultimate Scorpio, the ultimate instrument of transformational healing at the very highest expression of Scorpio self. Now, of course, you can express yourself in other ways, in other aspects of your life, but the most super highest frequency energy of Scorpio is very much about peace, bringing peace through transformational healing, almost like destroying anything that and everything that gets in the way, and giving birth and opening up the portals so that new life can occur. The death card cuts anything and everything away, like the surgeon, removing any of the tumors, any of the toxic energies, any of the unwelcome entities, and in order to make room so that healing can occur and new growth can occur, new life can occur, even though it means the destruction and cutting away of anything and everything that is not good. Okay, so again, with a lot of power here, it almost might make you feel as though with the major arcana here is that it's almost out of control, like you're being swept along in such a way that it's almost like you're looking in the mirror saying to yourself, gosh, I hope I can handle this. I really hope that I have the dignity and the strength and the honor and integrity to carry this much power and to be able to take full advantage of this power in the ultimate form of scorpionic expression, which is ultimately about going into the depths to transform what needs to be transformed and showing no mercy. Okay? So again, we're taking all this superpowered energy here and turning it through this lens, and this is how it's showing up. Now, what's the challenge? Okay? Because this is a lot. This is a lot for anybody to handle. Even for you, Scorpio, and you might already be used to handling and dealing with lots of power, but in a very discreet way that people don't understand. We're not talking about power in terms of necessarily having buckets of money and being able to make tons of people do whatever you want. That's not the power we're talking about here. We're talking about a much more highly evolved, dignified form of power that is power in the service of the will of heaven. Okay? That's very much what's going on here. So what is the challenge? Okay, well, it could indicate that you might already be so deeply wedded to, let's say, ways of being that you deeply cherish for a long time. Even your wounds, deep, deep, deep wounds that identified you as who you are for a long time. You might be one of those Scorpios who is very, very deeply wounded from having to go so deep into others as the only way to heal self and others, by going through deep soul merger. In order to execute deep soul healing, so that the transformation can occur, so that the birth and the passing on, destruction, the procreation can occur for ultimate transformational healing. But it can mean that it's like letting go of so much that you love and know already, because you might have a very deep, long history over the last 12 years, or perhaps even 24 years, or maybe even 36 years, where there's so much about you that you feel is you. That's who I am. But you are being challenged and induced and almost like forced to evolve into a higher vibration frequency version of yourself, the most highly evolved type of Scorpio possible, which means leaving behind any of the more less evolved versions of Scorpio. And Scorpio, you can do that. You can be extremely gifted at undermining yourself and being very self-destructive if you want to. When that power turns in on itself, you're extremely good. You're legendary for stinging yourself. In other words, die before you die. You would be more than happy to remove yourself from anything and everywhere else rather than go through the dishonor and disrespect of being disrespected. Let's have a look. How are you going to make the best of this? Because you do have the wisdom and strength to move on. It just means the challenge is moving on, because you're heading into the unknown. But so long as you witness this and see this as an amazing new opportunity to bring your gifts and talents into manifestation for real this time, as opposed to what could have been or what should have been in ways that never might have happened before in your life. Now is your time, Scorpio, more than ever before in probably decades. And it's happening right now. It's very, very important that you seize the opportunity, seize the moment, rise up to the challenge, understand that you're wise enough and smart enough to move on, and you've learned a lot of very, very painful lessons in the process, but it's history now. And everything is starting from scratch, brand new, in ways that are very tangible and that work for you, okay? And it's going to happen all in a very dignified, honorable, highly respected, highly respectable way. Very inspirational to others, okay? So thank you so much, Scorpio. I hope you get something out of this. You know the drill. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising. Recalibrate as needed. Go back and rewind. Watch the bits and pieces so you can see everything. All right? I'll just leave this here for the last second. This is your reading, and that was your mini simplified chart. All right? There you go. Thank you, Scorpio. Farewell. Have a good transit. Bye-bye.